Governor Brown has been supporting Proposition 30, a ballot initiative that would raise sales taxes on Californians and raise income taxes on the highest earning Californians in order to fund public schools and other government programs. The initiative started out very, very strongly in our polls last spring, getting way over 60% of the vote. That support's been slipping, it's been slipping rapidly.
Slippage is due to a number of reasons. Probably the biggest is the opposition campaign. The governor tried very hard to neutralize the opposition. He got many of the big business groups that normally would oppose tax increases to either support him or not to take a position on this and not fund the opposition. But some anti-tax groups have been able to collect some money, and they've launched a campaign that's really resonated with voters, saying, how do we know all this money is going to go to schools? There's all kinds of waste in Sacramento. Do you really trust these politicians to use your money for what they say they're going to use it for? And also, why can't they cut waste before they go to you for more taxes?
Jerry Brown's been working almost nonstop since taking office to show Californians that he's fiscally responsible. He pushed for pension reform earlier this year. He's gone to great lengths to talk about the reforms in state welfare programs that his administration's overseen. He even took cellular phones away from state employees to show that he could be really cheap and do everything he could to save state taxpayer dollars. But voters don't see it yet. They buy his argument about the need for taxes to fund schools, but they don't think sending the money to Sacramento is the right way to do it.
The governor's approval rating has held steady. It was 46% last month, and it's 45% now. And that bodes well for him in this poll, even though his disapproval rating has ticked up a little bit, because that says that this drop is not necessarily tied to people losing faith in him. It suggests that he's still a persuasive figure for this measure, and he's just really hitting the campaign trail now. He just started this week with a blitz all across the state. He intends to be campaigning aggressively every day. Also contributing to the challenges that this measure has had is a competing tax measure on the ballot. That's Proposition 38. Proposition 38 would also raise taxes for schools. It would do it somewhat differently. Instead of just high earners, it targets pretty much everyone. It would be a tax increase across the board, with high earners obviously paying the biggest share of the revenue that would come in. Proposition 38 campaign ended up taking aim at the Proposition 30 campaign, criticizing it, saying that if you really want money that's just for schools, you should vote for Proposition 38 because that measure locks in the money can't be used by Sacramento politicians for anything else.
And while voters generally support Molly Munger's idea of putting additional money into the K-12 public school system, they don't like the idea of paying higher taxes. And because her initiative would raise income taxes on all Californians making over $7,000 a year, that's a really tough sell. And the poll numbers show that it's going to be a very, very, very difficult hill for her to climb between now and Election Day.
It should be noted that if both of them pass, the one that gets the most votes wins and takes effect, and the other one does not.